Today I'm going to be doing things a little differently than usual. Today is a shape review of this Krooked board I have. So it is an 8.06 Krooked deck. So this is actually kind of a review of deluxe 8.06 in general. So first let's get into the dimensions. At 8.06 it should be just over 8 inches, and right here it is just under 8, and at the other trucks just under 8. So this measures 8 inches straight across. And we can get into the debate as to whether I should be adding the concave, probably because if I included the concave I might get that 0.06 that I'm looking for. But anyways, unless you're carrying around a flexible tailor's tape with you, I don't see how you can properly measure that. So for the consumer's sake, they should really stop measuring with the concave, in my opinion. So the length, straight across, not with the curves, is 31 3/4, which is a great length deck. I love that length. The nose is just over 6 3/4, so pretty short. The tail is just over 6 3/8. The wheelbase is 14 3/8, which is a pretty long wheelbase for a short deck like this, and that's why it has the short nose and tail. The concave is not particularly deep. It's actually kind of flat for some deluxe decks, and it's nice though, especially with how pointy and short the nose and tail feel. So let's take a look at the shape now. So the camera doesn't always pick it up that well, but as you can see, it's actually quite pointy. I'll try showing you. The more I go this way, the more blunt it looks. The more I go this way, the more you can see the pointiness of it. Now let's look at the tail. Again, it's quite pointy. It's pointier than it looks in film. Maybe if we look at it from this angle, you can see it a little bit. So the shape of this really reminds me of a 90s board. Back then, I wouldn't have actually thought that this was a super pointy nose and tail, because most boards were actually pretty pointy in the early to mid 90s. I've got this paired with some indies, with some super squeaky Indy 139 Stage 9s. Sorry, no time to put wax in the pivot cups today. Ooh, that one's bad. Being so pointy, this has some pluses and minuses. The plus is it makes scoopy tricks really quite easy. So who knows, maybe I'll try and throw in a few pressure flips today. Things like hard flips, 360 flips, frontside flips really work out well on a deck like this because there's just not a lot of meat here getting in the way when you're scooping. The downsides to a pointy nose and tail is I don't really like them for ledges as much. So I find it fairly difficult. I mean, there's just not much space right here. Now, if this was more full or even more popsicle, you would have easily ½ an inch more of space for your foot to be standing when you're doing slides and grinds. And I have a problem with sliding my heels on things like nose slides as it is. So this really doesn't help me in that matter. I have to really be kind of a ballerina on the tips of my toes on this deck if I don't want to drag my heels. Anyways, we're gonna do some flip tricks on this deck, see how it feels, and maybe a little bit of manuals and ledges depending on how much time I have. And I forgot to bring water, so I'm gonna get really parched about halfway through. Now I'm gonna try a trick I haven't done in years, and we're gonna give it 10 tries and that's it. Alright, you can't get a perfect landing every day, and I know I am really late for work now. Oh! Oh! Alright, whatever. I traded those ones in for Nollie in the 90s. Ow! Yes! Oh! As you can see, I got lots of room for improvement in my fakie game. You guys might find it hard to believe, but that is actually the first one of those I have ever landed in my entire life. I've done plenty of them to like not really slide to fakie or to like not really slide to regular. That is literally the first one I have ever done. Oh. Oh. Honestly, this trick makes me so mad. I can kickflip, I can frontside flip, I can nose slide, but I cannot put them together. So, famous last words, one last try. I'll take it, 2 inches of slide. So as usual, I'm running out of time, battery, and energy, and I have to go to work. As you can see, I love this board for technical skating. I think it's got a great shape. I could really, once I get used to the pointy nose and tail, I could ride this deck a lot. So anyways, I hope you guys found this useful. If you're looking online at the 8.06 14 3/8 wheelbase, it might be this one. If anyone else knows if they do a more popsicle stick shape 8.06, let me know in the comments. But as far as I know, this is the deluxe 8.06. It's a great technical deck. I really enjoy riding it. Pairs really nicely with indies. I think it would be a bit too steep with thunders or ventures. I've tried it with venture lows and it did work great, but it was really, like, it made the board feel quite hefty. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful and you'll see me in the next video. Bye.